We're in the middle of the day, and my buddy Dušan from Serbia and I are out here in the Grasse River, and we're going to try to catch whatever happens to hit today. Dušan actually works here in St. Lawrence County on a special pandemic program, designing a program in case there's really a disaster for the financial institute that he's working with. And it's given him a chance to come over here to see what this country's like today. Now, I'm using a fly rod, and Dušan's using a spinning rod. We know that there's muskies in here. We know there's bass, because I've just hooked a decent bass, not a huge one, but by using this big streamer, I've tricked myself into believing that maybe I can get a muskie to hit. Now, this bass is big enough that I'm surprised a muskie didn't come after it. Well, he's only about 10 inches, but still. As you can see, my streamer's half his size. But on a fly rod, on a streamer, in a stream, a 10-inch bass is a lot of fun. It really is. And even though it's almost October, there's still some bass in this area. Now, I've always found that as the fall comes on, the water gets colder, the air gets colder, these bass in this river tend to disappear. I don't know where they go. And I've asked biologists. If you guys out there got any idea, let me know. Obviously, you would think they go to deeper water for the winter. They don't go back to the St. Lawrence. But each week, there's going to be fewer and fewer bass around to catch. And a lot of times what happens is you can, in these rivers, you can catch a muskie any place that there's food. And in this case, I think they prefer smallmouths to a lot of the other food that they have in here. So what they will do is they will lay at the edge of the riffles, at the edge of the drop-offs in these pools. The water may be no deeper than this at the deepest part. And you can have a 20-pound fish laying there waiting for a bass to come by or an injured fish. And so often, when we're fishing this river, we hook a bass, we end up having a muskie hit it. We hardly ever catch them, but we have the battle of our life for a while. This is unbelievable. When you guys see what this fish hits, because this fly, streamer, bug, whatever you want to call it, is a lot bigger than what you would think you would fish for these bass with. Now, Dušan, he was right up where that riffles are. There might be another one up there. Let me show you him. Boy. This is actually not a bad smallmouth for the river. Yeah. It's not a big one, but for the river fish, this isn't too bad. And you can see how long this popper streamer that I'm using now, this was tied for me last night by a friend of mine. See, that fish is bleeding, but that hook was not in his gill, so I'm not sure why he was bleeding like that. He should be fine. And that fish is about, at least 11 inches. Wow, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Now, right up in there is where he was. See if there's another. You have one?
Yeah.
Now, when he hits like that, you really got to yank a little harder. See, once they see it a couple times, if they don't hit it, that's it. They're not going to come and hit it. It's usually your first couple casts are the most effective. Get one? Dušan's got one. A little bit smaller, Dušan.
But it's there.
But you got the hang of that wacky worm.
Yeah.
Let me see him. Well, that's 10 inches. Now, tell me something. If you were in Serbia, do you have bass like this there?
No, they're smaller. So it's a good catch for today, for now.
But what kind of fish do you catch there if you were out fishing?
The only fish that is similar that you have here is a catfish.
Yeah.
And the other fish, I really don't know the words in English.
But they don't look like that.
No. We have something similar like this, but it doesn't grow not even close to this size that I caught.
Yeah.
So they're quite smaller than this.
How are you doing?
Good, it's tucked here. I'm trying not.
There you go. I thought. what the knack
I
is.
don't understand why it doesn't want.
I can tell you exactly why. Look
Okay.
right there. That's the reason, right there. There. Just takes a little bit of flicking. But trust me, when you've got a camera on you, nothing goes the way you want it to go, ever. However, hopefully, before this day's out, now right now it is 3 o'clock.
Okay,
I would say by 5 or 6 o'clock these fish will really start turning on, and that's when we're going to get our action, but you just never know. That might be a good one, the way he's running up.
I think that this one is smaller actually.
Do you? Oh. We'll never know.
No.
See, if you'd have been the real fisherman, you'd have told me, this one was huge, I just lost a huge one. There's one. Boy,
It's a nice one.
it's not bad. It really doubles this little rod that you were using.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the nicest one yet. See that one?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a nice one.
It's nice when you feel it on that rod because.
I know. I'll trade with you if you want.
No.
Because this was the rod you were using, but we tried to go to the bigger. This is a really nice fish right here. This is a 12-inch river smallmouth. And to show you, my hand span's 9 inches, so you can see all the length under it. I'm using an ultralight rod, and what really makes this fun, no weight. Even when I'm using artificial plastics like worms, when you're fishing a wacky worm or something, I don't use any weight. But what we're doing right now is, since it's so warm, even though it's this late in the year, we found some crayfish along the shore. And so I put a live crayfish on, and when you use something like that and throw that out there and those fish see that thing with no weight hampering it and wiggling through the water, it's just deadly. Now I'll show you what happens here. I'll try to show you just how fun and predictable this action can be. And this is just a little crayfish. Now watch what happens. I'm going to cast down in there. Now all I do is oh, there's one hitting it already. Watching my slack line. My slack line is going like crazy out, which means one had hit it. He dropped it, but there he goes again. Usually, if there's any bass in the area, and they see that crayfish hit the water and it's really lively, it'll immediately start swimming. And so it doesn't take long to get a strike usually if you're going to get one. Cast where I got that last strike, see if there's another bass there. The neat thing is if there's more than one bass in an area, if there's a group of them, then often they'll fight each other off. In other words, they'll chase each other away to try to get that lure. So a lot of times there'll be no reluctance on their part if they think something else is going to get it first.
I lost my bait.
That's all right, I got more.
You do?
Yeah, I've got one hitting right now. Here. Come carefully over to me. We'll switch rods. No. We'll switch rods and I'll go in and I'll find some more bait. Because this is, Dušan, when we get down here, these fish tend to lie right down here in the pool, the bass, and this is fun. This is so much fun this way. And it's especially fun when you use light tackle like this. Now, I got one left in here. One little gem left here for you. Although he doesn't seem very lively, does he? He's probably one Dave caught. There you go. I'm going to go in and find us some more. Now, where I've had the last ones is right, see, casting right straight down there. There's also weeds down there. That's the only bad thing. But right straight down in there, I haven't got as many out there, but they've been down this way more. And it usually doesn't take them long to hit once it hits the water. I'll go see if I can find us some more crayfish. Mark seems not very loose.
Yeah.
Great. Talk about him.
It's not so big, but
So did it just take off with it, start
yeah,
running?
yeah, it's almost swallowed the whole hook.
Found a little bitty one, but it's too small. You get one?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about him.
I had a worm.
Got a decent one there.
Oh,
Nice one.
yeah.
Ooh.
It's the biggest that I had.
That's a beauty. How much do you love them?
If you could see how I hooked him,
How?
it went on the upper lip
Yeah?
somehow to both sides, only in one lip, the upper one.
Obviously, he doesn't want to come off. He's afraid of that monkey out there.
Yeah. What do you think? It has like at least 10.
Oh, that's bigger than that. I'd say that's close to 12.
Nice.
Nice. Really nice. Big one?
No. But I got far away, so it's going to be.
He's a fighter.
Yeah, it's nice. Not so bad. The rod is excellent for
Isn't it fun to use that light
Yeah.
tech?
even when the fish is small.
Which worm was that? The gray one?
Yeah, I tried with a how to say gold one,
Yeah?
and didn't happen. You know, it seems like they don't want that one.
Yeah.
It's very funny. I thought
There's what. Oh.
that's not the bass.
This is not a bass. This is one of those chubs. But gosh, I wouldn't have thought a chub would have hit this thing. Using a jig.
Next time, can you hold that fish? I want to see. I don't know what's that.
Yeah, if there is a next time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's yeah, I should have showed it to you. Darn it. Dušan, I think that there's a number of 2 feet long fish right in front of you. Just laying there, right in front of you, not 15 feet in front of you. That's where they lay, these walleyes. And they're supposed to be the best eaten of all the fish here. Have you ever seen them?
No.
Good one?
I don't know.
No.
No. It looks like it's the same one.
But you know something? You're getting pretty good with that worm.
Yeah.
Turn right to the camera so we can see it all.
At least I hooked quite good.
It's not. These are not
Totally
bad.
in the middle of the.
Yeah, these are not
upper
bad fish.
Yeah. I mean, if we collect all that we caught,
Yeah.
for example, my father will never put this away.
Does he eat everything?
Yeah, yeah. Whatever he catch, he will clean and eat.
Well, do me a favor. Do me a favor here.
Yeah?
Before you turn back and fish, tell everybody, not in your language, but in what most of them might speak out there, what you're doing. How you? Because you're doing really well. What's your technique? How are you fishing this?
I didn't understand you. You mean to say in Serbian?
No, in English. Tell everybody that's watching us.
Oh.
How you're catching them. What are you doing to catch them?
So I'm trying to make worm go down to the bottom, and then slowly, without, how you say this move?
Without reeling it.
Without reeling it, to pull the whole rod backward so that the worm would
move a little
bit, but only on the bottom of the river. So like that, to try to feel the fish, you know, when it's going to bite, and when I think that is a good moment to pull back, but
no,
it's hard to know when is the good moment.
Well, I'll tell you what. Now, this is the first time Dušan has done this type of fishing with a plastic worm, and we're rigging a wacky worm here.
That's the weird thing, because I never fished like this before. In Serbia, we fish only with a
live bait. Another one?
Yeah, I missed it.
See, now I'm using a jig, and they're not hitting this jig at all. Although I'm using this jig in hopes to catch a walleye. That's my intention here, or desire. But either I'm moving it too fast. I have to move it fairly fast because it's a heavy lead head, and I don't want it snagging, because there's no way you're going to get the snags out there. It drops off in front of us, probably at least up to our neck, maybe over our head, in parts of this here. So this is a good walleye hole, as well as bass and muskie. Which do you think are better, the live crayfish or that worm?
I don't know. It seems that they are almost the same.
Yeah. Fish?
I think so.
Oh, hold on. Is that a big one?
I'm not sure.
Take it slow. You might have a big fish. Well, not too slow, but you might have a really good one. This might be a walleye, the way it's fighting.
No.
No?
No, it's a regular. Well, maybe.
He's gone, but that was a nice bass. Dušan, that was a huge, huge bass. 5 pounds.
Yeah, it was.
Boy, they're really hitting that gray worm.
No, it was big. No, without.
It was a nice one. It was a.
I don't know how much. 5 pounds.
No, it wasn't 5 pounds.
I know kilograms only, so it probably had 10 kilograms.
Yeah.
That's almost like a 5 pounds.
It wasn't, but it was a nice one for the river.
But
got another one. I don't know what you're doing, but you are the king of wacky worm fishing. I'll tell you what, I'm standing right here, and Dušan is cleaning my clock. He's unbelievable. That's a nice one.
Oh, this one is good.
That's a nice one. Bring him around the other way, though, because all the people in the world are there, or 4 or 5 of them anyway.
Okay, I just want to show this one to my twin brother, who was so proud all the time how he's better fisherman than me. I think that he never caught this kind of bass before. So I'm sorry, my brother, but I must admit I am better. And Mr. Don Meissner can also say that. He will give me the certificate. So
that's a nice bass.
Yeah.
Now you're going to run out of those gray worms, you know.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to go to a different color, and you'll have no confidence.
No, no.
The amazing thing, though, really, is that I've been using this jig here. Not that you see, I'm fishing a little faster, but I've caught so many fish in my life on this black and blue bucktail jig, and yet I am not getting a strike. And Dušan is catching a fish after fish after fish, because he's figured out a way to fish that plastic worm as he drops him in the water. There, that's gone. Oh, that was a gray one too.
No, it wasn't.
Did you get it? You can pretend you did.
Yeah.
However, those are shorter. Let me see here if I've got something that you might like better here before you.
I was thinking to try with this one.
That's a little shorter one, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, they might like that longer one you've been using.
Somehow I like when the bait is smaller.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well,
but before I came here, I didn't like so big hooks that you're using. Everybody are using
are
here.
those big ones?
Yeah, these hooks are quite big for comparing with the ones that we use in Serbia.
That's true, they are. But you know, if you were trout fishing,
Or maybe my father was trying to stop me catching the bigger fish, so he can.
they gave you the little hooks.
Yeah,
That might be it.
That just crossed my mind.
Oh gosh. Well, I'll tell you what. I think you used the last of those gray worms that were working so good. And you know, it's funny how some nights one color will work so much better than another, and you could come back to the same hole even the next day, and they might prefer a different color. And it goes against everything you might think. You think, well, why would they prefer that color? The natural food in here is crayfish or minnows, so they should want something kind of that coloration. A lot of time it doesn't happen that way. But as long as you have confidence in it, that's all that really matters. That's what really, I think that's more important than anything in fishing, is having that confidence with what you're using. You see, you don't have that now.
The only thing is that I think that is important is that while you believe that you are going to catch the fish,
That's right.
you will catch it.
Absolutely.
Like you said, like confidence.
Yes. The only reason I'm sticking with this jig is in years past, this has been a pool that I've always been able to catch walleyes if they were going to hit. And I know that walleyes would like this hopping motion. I know they'll hit these jigs. It's just a question if they want to hit tonight. Am I right in your way here?
There was a funny thing that happened today.
What's that?
I don't know about you and other fishermen here, but my father and the fishermen in my country are quite superstitious.
Okay.
So, like today when I was at work, one of the colleagues said, when I said that I'm going to fish, she told me, good luck. And that's one of the things that you never say to a fisherman when he goes to fish, because that's bad luck. Like three things: good luck, where you're going to go to fish, what's the spot, that's also the bad luck. And the third one was, now I forgot, but
the third one is
something like similar to the first two that I said. It was like, yeah, I just remember if someone would like pass beside us now and said like we have the expression in Serbian that means like happy work, like
yes, happy fishing.
Happy fishing, you know. That's also one of the things that you never say to the fishermen.
Yes.
Like my father would just pack the gear and go home.
It'd be all over. He'd be jigs forever.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody's a bit superstitious, and they'll wear their favorite hat or the. So who knows? Whatever works. However, since you ran out of those gray worms,
I think that I have a problem.
Yes, oh! Did I ever just have one smash it? Seriously. Pay no attention to the weeds that are on there. They have no bearing on that strike. I think people are great all over. I think if you give people a chance, and I'm talking about just in general, people tend, I think, to be fearful, and they put up walls against each other because they're afraid of what might happen if they reach out and if they try to be friends. But, you know, people are pretty much the same all over the world. I think when you get inside their heart, they really are. We're all having struggles, and we all love life.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how much we have same problems.
Yes.
We have same wishes. We have the same desires, basically. And that's the only thing that it would be nice if the people all over the world realize that basically we are the same. The best part of my childhood was exactly this, you know, going to the river with my father and my brother and spending at least 4 hours there. It would, you know, change the whole week. It would change the whole month if we would go only once. And the biggest problem was how to get to the river because they were not close to my hometown and there wasn't gas, you know. So every time my father would, you know, start, you know, talking about how we're going to go when we don't have a gas for a car. So we would start begging,
Sure.
you know, like, please, however, just, you know, find that 1 gallon that we need to go there and come back home, you know, just to have that 4 hours on the river, because everything else around us was gray, black, you know, old news, everything, you know. So it's amazing how it's, you know, when you feel something like that, you actually realize how much you appreciate and how much you respect the river and the nature around you, and that fish that we put back and everything.
You know, Dušan has said it so eloquently, so beautifully, and some of the things, again, that I wouldn't even think to say because I haven't experienced some of the things that he has. You know, the thing that strikes me is that not only do we all have the same problems no matter where we live, we're all struggling to make the most of our lives, but it really appears that being able to take the time and have the ability to go out and enjoy a day like this, to be on the water, it does something very special to people. It doesn't necessarily change them, but it brings out something that all of us have within us that we might keep covered, that we might not let show sometimes. And I think that's where the real humanity is. And that's why I think the fishing is far, far more than a lot of people would imagine. It really is a spiritual and a very human experience that transcends every culture, every race, every age, every sex. In other words, it's just a way of life, and it's a wonderful way of life. Well, Dušan, now that the sun's going down just a little bit, and now that you've mastered this tremendous, and he really has the feel for this, and that's so pleasing to me to see somebody that hasn't done this and that they can get a feel like this and enjoy this so much. Now the fish haven't been huge, but we're catching some nice fish. So you've got your gray worm on again.
Yeah. So
let's catch another.
Yeah.